think many believe that GFC resulted from a lack of oversight and a lack of monitoring and an environment of deregulation. So I think going forward, I'm optimistic that the legislation that President Obama has sent to Capitol Hill to regulate the financial services industry, to better illuminate derivatives and other sort of interesting financial products, and to force the banks to create a pool of money so consumers don't have to bail out financial institutions again. I hope that that will go through. Well, as an observer, what I would say is that the president achieved something quite historic with the passage of the healthcare reform earlier this year. And I think he achieved something historic last year with the passage of the Recovery and Reinvestment Act, otherwise known as, the financial stimulus package. I think it would be a wonderful trifecta if he could pass financial services legislation. I'm optimistic that that will happen, because I think although some of the Republican leadership are dragging their heels and politicizing the issue, I think on the Democratic side of the House, and certainly even amongst some Republicans, and definitely if you look at the American people, everyone sees the need for change. I think increasingly we're seeing consumers flock toward companies and support firms whose products drive purpose, not only profits, whose services are sustainable, and whose overall value proposition focuses not just on shareholders, but also stakeholders. So is big business changing? I don't know, but I think consumers increasingly seem to expect more from the businesses they support. I think for a long time, we have believed that being socially innovative was different than being financially profitable. But I think what we're increasingly seeing in at least the US marketplace is that you don't necessarily need to trade off on profits to also drive purpose. That you can actually make social impact as well as economic impact. And so we've seen firms like Whole Foods Market or Patagonia, or big businesses like Starbucks Coffee Company, which is a very responsible firm, who have found ways to deliver, again, sort of a double or a triple bottom line. Blended value that says we can earn a living and we can make a difference at the same time. I think social entrepreneurs add value in lots of ways. So number one, they may be social entrepreneurs who are building for-profit companies or nonprofit organizations, but they find sustainable and scalable ways to drive social impact and do so in a manner that's consistent with the marketplace. So they say, look, we're not looking for the government to subsidize our ideas. We're not looking for philanthropy to give us grants, ad infinitum. In fact, we're going to find sustainable strategies to support social impact. So number one, they tend to fix or try to fix sort of a broken problem in society. Number two, they do it in ways that doesn't cost the taxpayer money. And number three, maybe most importantly, they tend to create value on multiple layers as they do that. All for Good is a nonprofit, open source venture that aggregates service listings. So some of our data may come from smaller aggregators who collect and organize volunteer information, and they do tremendously important work. Some of our information comes from for-profit companies who organize listings. Some of it may even come from government or foundations or other sources. But what All for Good does is it aggregates all this information that makes it easy for consumers to find by allowing anyone who wants to take our data and put it right on their own website, or allowing them to build a mobile application for an iPhone or for an Android phone, or by allowing them to simply use our widget and enhance their own Facebook page or Twitter page. I'm not an official representative of the Obama administration, but as an observer, what I would say is that this White House and this administration has done some remarkable things to integrate social media both into the policy development apparatus, but as well into the messaging and communication of those policies. So whether it's the president broadcasting his weekly radio addresses on YouTube, or it's the White House doing an open town hall meeting where the American people could submit questions and vote on other people's questions, whether it's the State Department setting up a Twitter feed, or whether it's the Corporation for National Service creating a Facebook page, the administration seems to, again and again and again, find innovative ways to use social media to reach the American people.